This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 2238, How to Plan Your Day as a Mom, 3 Simple Steps, Part 2, by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ORD for another parenting episode. I'm your host and narrator, Greg Audino, this time finishing up the longer post I began yesterday. So if you haven't checked that episode out, definitely do so before continuing. But if you are all caught up, then let's hear the rest from Shawna as we optimize your life. How to Plan Your Day as a Mom, 3 Simple Steps, Part 2, by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. Number 3, do a morning review. Every morning, I spend some time sitting with my planner and looking over the day. I don't call it the morning review. It's more like standing at the counter, looking at my planner while making another peanut butter toast and heating up the coffee. Morning review sounds better, and like I'm wearing pants and a bra while I do it. So, the morning review is vital. It doesn't have to take long, and it helps you set the vision you have for the day. It's a time to ask yourself questions like, what is your timetable like today? Where do people have to be, and when and what do they need with them? Where do you fit in things like errands or preparations for coming events? What is something you want to do with the kids today? What about the things you say you want to do, like home projects or exercise or reading? Before my kids started school and I had 3 small kids at home, this was my lifeline. I would plan out an outing we would do in the morning, lunch ideas, a craft or a project for the afternoon, and a dinner plan. This wasn't Pinterest perfect, and it didn't happen every single day. But when it did, I felt like I wasn't just reacting to my day and scrambling to have fun with my kids. I felt more engaged and relaxed. So give things that are important to you a place in your day so you don't end up spending an hour on the couch scrolling Facebook when you could have been reading the next book in the Outlander series, or finally decluttering your empty jar collection in your kitchen cupboards. Those are the 3 steps I use to plan out my day. But I also want to bring to your attention why it's important. One word, one thing we are all looking for in our daily life. Being in control. I can remember how it felt before I decided I wanted to live on purpose. I felt constantly overwhelmed with this sense that there were all these things to do, and I was in a constant state of failure because my house was a mess, rooms were full of clutter, I didn't know what I would be doing tomorrow, and there was always a high likelihood that we would be having toast and eggs for dinner. Again. I mean, I did have toddlers, so I probably needed a big dose of grace more than anything, but I found that there were small things I could do that would let me gain control without being controlling. Let's get serious for a minute. We all want to feel in control, but how we gain control is what makes the big difference. When I don't have a plan, I feel flustered and anxious. I try to start things like projects, and then get frustrated the kids need me when I should have just been sitting with them playing Legos and asking about their day. I'm forgetting dance bags. I'm missing out on the cupcake sale in town. I have no clue what we're doing for dinner. The house is a mess. Then I feel lazy and unproductive. I'm in a constant state of trying to gain control over my day. I become controlling. Let's say that again in a slow and menacing voice. Controlling. Nobody likes how I get when I'm controlling. I don't like how I get. However, when I plan my day, I am in control. In control is relaxed, ready, and a lot more fun. Instead of feeling restless, I have a focus. Instead of feeling anxious, I have a plan. I feel relaxed because I know there will be space for things in the scheme of the day or the week. Sure, not all the things, but the most important things. And oddly enough, my kids, especially my oldest, love to know the plan. When I can list off what we'll do today, they give their 2 cents, and maybe if I'm feeling as fun as Dad, I will say yes to slushies and hot gluing popsicle sticks into swords and going for walks. They are part of it. It is their plan too. So when I nag you all about planning your day, writing things down, and setting a vision for your year, month, week, and day, it's because I want to empower you to be in control of your life, rather than constantly grasping for control. I nag because I care, says every mom ever. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, How to Plan Your Day as a Mom, 3 Simple Steps, by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. And stick around for my commentary coming up right after this. Okay, and thanks to Shawna, a really great post which we have now heard in its entirety. I appreciate how she ended it, bringing all her ideas together and emphasizing one larger theme of being in control. And while she's definitely offered a lot of great tips for developing a sense of control, be advised that probably the best thing you can do for your desire to control your life is to acknowledge that doing so will never be entirely 100% possible. I love the tactics she's talked about and other similar ones that are extraordinarily helpful, but the truth remains that things can always go haywire. And should we get too attached to the idea of control, we're often left unprepared when things start to go unplanned. Even worse, sometimes our desire for control is so strong that these setbacks can cause us to give up altogether, rather than taking the bad days in stride and just getting back on the horse the next day. And that's really when control starts to slip away, because we've convinced ourselves that our efforts to stay productive are for naught. But they aren't useless. They just aren't bulletproof. And that's more than fine. So, something to think about. I will leave it there for today, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and listening all the way through. Have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you again over the weekend, where your optimal life awaits.